Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Luke.
and we're Android guys,
Give us 5 to 10 minutes of your day
and we'll tell you about a product or service.
or an app that you might be interested in.
That's the Arctis 9.
That's the Arctis 9. And then I got to check out a keyboard from SteelSeries. Also, this was the Apex Pro TKL Wireless. And that's the 2023 version.
Okay.
Because they have an older of the same thing, but this is the newer version of it. These are this is a really cool keyboard. It's, it has the full RGB, which is, ubiquitous. Kind of almost every gaming keyboard is going to have RGB now.
Right.
But this has something that I hadn't experienced before. It has adjustable switches. So mechanical keyboards, there are, all kinds of, you've probably heard like blue keycaps or browns or cherry reds or, all these different switches that have a different kind of feel.
Right.
And a different sound and
clickiness,
a different kind of response.
Yeah.
Well, these OmniPoint 2.0 are adjustable switches where you can customize the sensitivity to your certain play style.
Oh.
So if you like a very speedy, like 0.2 millimeter response,
yeah,
you can do that. Or you can make it where you have to just do a deliberate click and all the way up to like 3.8 millimeter travel distance.
Okay. So if you're fast and loose, or you prefer more precise.
Yeah. And some people change it just for if I'm typing, if I'm just doing emails or just writing stuff, maybe I want it to feel a little more clicky and a little bit more resistance to my key presses. Whereas in gaming, maybe I want it really quick so I can, spam buttons or something like that. And I thought it was really cool. Now, granted, I've only been using this for maybe about a month.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how much that lasts.
Oh, right.
The only thing I guess I'm a little leery about is if you're constantly changing that sensitivity. If you're a person, like, I don't change it a lot. I kind of found the sweet spot for me and I just keep it there. But if you were a person to change it a lot, I wonder how that would last over time.
Yeah. Does it lose that sensitivity?
Sure.
And just kind of become an average thing. Okay.
But this one, it is, you can plug it in and run wired if you want, but it is a full wireless Bluetooth 5.0 keyboard. It's got everything. It's got a nice little display on the corner to let you know like battery life and a couple little, depending on the game or the app that you're using, there's some feedback on, maybe like what setting you're on or, where in game you are or something like that. But for the most part, it's just a good mechanical keyboard.
So one of the things that I tend to find with gaming keyboards is they don't necessarily come with that number pad on the right.
Sure.
Whereas like for me, I use it here and there, especially if I'm like calculator or, spreadsheets, doing different things like that.
Yep.
I see that this one doesn't have that.
Right.
Does this feel like a small keyboard then? Because it looks like the keys seem to be relatively spaced out.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see this one in person.
Right. It doesn't. So, but I am used, this is, it's a 10 keyless shape.
Okay.
So that's like, that's the style of keyboard. There are many different styles of keyboard now, but, it's what this is. I'm used to that style, so it didn't seem really any different for me.
Okay.
It was very easy to type on. Everything is kind of where I expected it to be. I do like the ability to you can program button actions to do two different things. You can kind of set up macros if you want.
Okay.
On the keyboard, which is nice.
So I'm looking at the website and I see like the same key being used to like walk and run based off of how it's pressed. Okay. Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then you have all the support from their software. They have the the SteelSeries engine is what they call it. You can control the colors that it shows. You can control those key presses and the programmable switches and all that kind of stuff in the software, and it's really easy to use. And that works across a lot of the SteelSeries family of stuff. So I also have a SteelSeries mouse, and that's, I can set my color to like the one color I want, and it's on both things, which is nice. And it's kind of one different place. You don't have to remember, I got to set this here and set this here and set this here.
Sure.
Because that's kind of what happens in RGB space now.
Yep.
Is, if I want my whole desk to look the same, I have to remember to change the settings in everywhere. And I see a lot of companies kind of go to this, hey, we have a software package that will control everything that we have to kind of keep it simple for everybody.
Nice.
And yeah, SteelSeries is no different. And they're just, they've been a brand for a long time, and they just do quality stuff. Now, this keyboard isn't cheap. It's a $250 keyboard. Yeah. But, with the ability to do the adjustable switches and kind of, there are some keyboard enthusiasts that have, dozens of keyboards, and because they use different keyboards for different applications.
Right.
And the ability in this keyboard to change that feel.
Could be buying 2 or 3 keyboards for this price of one.
I think it's a really cool feature, and I like I said, I'm interested to see if we see more market adoption to that kind of idea.
Okay, and I'm just checking some of the specs here. It says battery life is 37.5 hours, and up to 100 million presses on the switches. So to your point of
we'll see. Time will tell, right?
Yeah. You come back to me when you start to approach 100 million switches.
I'm probably at 4 million now.
About 1 million a week. Okay, so about 2 years. Okay, I'm with it. All right. Again, that was the Pro TKL.
Yes, and that's the wireless version.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.